Hi, John Morgan here, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show here on the internet. And as always, you can find us on these platforms. We're on Rumble, Facebook, X, and YouTube. So that's everywhere that we're broadcasting live right now. And then, as always, you can find previous episodes and show notes and all that good stuff over on our website at bobsmarket.com/live. And well, this week we're right on the cusp of heading into fall. So I thought that we would head out to the greenhouse and see what's growing out there. But first, I thought we would take a look at somewhere that I visited earlier this summer. So last week we started kind of a series that we're going to do over the next couple weeks on Cultivate 24. And Cultivate, it is a huge industry conference and trade show that happens every year in Columbus, Ohio. And it's kind of a gathering for people in the horticulture industry. So you have greenhouse growers like us here at Bob's, garden centers, florists, nursery owners, landscapers, just a whole array of people from our industry there in Columbus. And usually it's about 30,000-ish people that attend, literally from all over the world. So I've run into people there from Australia, Korea, all over the place over the years. So the video that I wanted to share with you today is from the trial gardens at The Ohio State University. And the cool thing is you can visit them. They're open to the public. You can pull right up to the Chadwick Arboretum, park right there, and walk around and check out the trial gardens. And I'll get into in the video explaining what a trial garden is. This video, it's a little bit short because the day that I was there was like a record heat day. And I had a problem. My camera equipment actually overheated. So something that I ended up doing was shutting down my phone, which is, my primary camera that I use. And I actually went and stuck it in a cooler with some ice that they had there. Because they give out, bottles of water and stuff. So yeah, I stuck it in a cooler to cool it down enough to where I could restart my phone and continue recording. So I do something in this video that I rarely do, and that is a voiceover after the fact, because I just couldn't trust my phone to be able to kind of record narration there on the spot. Plus, you've got a crowd of people standing around. It's kind of awkward to be filming a video or doing, live narration. But anyhow, let's check out the Ohio State University Trial Gardens. This evening, I am here at the Ohio State University Chadwick Arboretum and Learning Gardens. And behind me is their 2024 trial garden. And also some construction, which is kind of a common sight up here now at Ohio State University, or the Ohio State University. Anyhow, let's take a closer look at the trial gardens and learn what a trial garden is. Here, new and emerging plant varieties are put to the test before they ever reach your local garden center. In collaboration with students, faculty, and volunteers, the trial garden evaluates plants for their performance in Ohio's diverse climate. This hands-on approach not only provides invaluable data for the horticultural industry, but also offers a rich learning experience for everyone involved. From vibrant annuals to resilient perennials, the trial garden is a showcase of botanical innovation.
Visitors can witness firsthand the future of gardening as these plants are assessed for their beauty, resilience, and sustainability. The Chadwick Arboretum and Learning Garden is more than just a collection of plants. It is a community space, a research hub, a sanctuary for nature enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or simply looking for a peaceful retreat, there's something here for everyone. Come explore the Chadwick Arboretum and Learning Garden, where the beauty of nature meets the future of horticulture.
So that was a quick look at the trial gardens there at the Ohio State University. And the last shot there before the bus was pulling out and I one last little filler shot, that is some landscaping that they've recently redone. As I said, they're doing a massive construction project there around those buildings. And part of that involved taking out a pretty large landscape installation that they had and completely redesigning it. And it was really interesting. They had displays showing how they've done that and how they planned it and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see it kind of evolve over the next few years. Something that I didn't show in the video is behind one of the buildings there. Well, actually kind of on top of the building, you go up to the second floor and walk out. They have a green roof, and over the last decade or so, it's been interesting to watch that green roof change and evolve over the years. So the new landscape installation there, I think it'll be interesting to watch it over the next few years too. Up next, I want to take a look at the weather, because right now we have some pretty unseasonably cool weather. I was out in the greenhouse earlier today, which you're going to see here in just a little bit, and it was actually pretty comfortable out there for once. But right now it is 74 degrees out and partly sunny. Yeah, it says the high will be 75. It was 75 earlier, so I think we're starting to cool down toward evening. And right now, the skies are clear as far as rain. And it looks like we've got 70s all around. 71 up toward Morgantown, Wheeling, Pittsburgh, that area. But yeah, really nice day. The daily weather that we're looking at 75 tomorrow, then 79. And then Friday into this weekend, we are going to be headed back into some hot temperatures. So if you're a weekend warrior like me, the cool temperatures aren't going to last into the weekend. But hey, it's a nice break right now. Something kind of cool that's happening right now, though, is last night you might have noticed a really full moon. It's full moon right now. And the cool thing about it is what is considered both a supermoon, which means that the moon is in its closest approach to Earth, because its orbit isn't exactly symmetrical around the Earth. It's not a huge variation, but it does get slightly closer to Earth at a certain point in its orbit. And also right now, it is a blue moon. Now, this we need to dig into a little bit, because a blue moon, and I've read a bunch of articles on this because I keep track of the phase of the moon for the almanac, and you can always catch up with that over on our podcast, the Keep Growing podcast, where I cover the current phase of the moon and what you can be doing in the garden according to that moon phase. But because of that, I know that there's only one full moon this month. And half the articles that I read, CNN was one of them, they're like, oh yeah, it's a blue moon because there's 2 full moons this month. Well, no, there's not 2 full moons this month. So the other meaning of a blue moon is, okay, if this is a little bit hard to break down, but during a season, there's typically 3 full moons. So you can have a blue moon under 2 conditions. The first is if, because the moon cycle is 29.5 days, so there is an opportunity for there to be 2 full moons within 1 month. So that is the first case of a blue moon. And that's what a lot of the articles are getting wrong. They're like, oh, it's 2 full moons this month. The other is if there are 4 full moons within one season. That is also considered a blue moon. And that is what we're having right now. So within the summer season, so was that June 21st to September 21st, there's going to be 4 full moons. And the third full moon of those 4 is the blue moon. So again, there's 2 conditions there. And yeah, I was surprised at the number of articles that got that wrong. Saying, yeah, it's because there's 2 full moons this month. And no, it's because there are 4 full moons within this current season. So, yeah. And again, I'll probably be talking about this again in our podcast, the Keep Growing podcast. And it comes out every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And it gives you a gardening guide for the week ahead. So we look at the weather forecast, the moon, and then also what the gardening tasks are for our region, based off of information from the West Virginia Extension Office. So it's kind of tailored to our region here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. So again, if you listen to podcasts, check it out. You can also listen to it over on our website. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Our internet connection dropped out for a second. Um, so the last thing that I wanted to cover today is what's happening out in the greenhouse, and that is a ton of pansies right now. Um, this time of year, we grow literally millions of pansy seedlings, and I believe last week before last, sometime in the last couple weeks, we've started transplanting fall pansies. And right now, the greenhouse is starting to fill up with flats of pansies. And then here in a few weeks, those will start blooming. And it's going to transform into a quilt of color. So let's head out to the greenhouse and see what that looks like.
Hi, John Morgan here, and today I am out in the greenhouse where we're growing pansy seedlings. And here at Bob's, we start off with seed, grow the seedlings in trays like you see behind me, and then some of those go to wholesale customers, and some of them we transplant here on site into finished flats like you might find at your local garden center. So we really do everything from seed to the end product here. And well, we are just getting started with transplanting for the fall season. Pansies are the perfect choice for a fall flower because they love cold weather. When we say the word pansy, we tend to think of, a weakling, but pansies are anything but weak. They can survive literally sub-zero temperatures, down to like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And what you can do is plant them now in the fall. They'll give you blooms in the fall. Then they'll go kind of dormant during the winter time. And then in the springtime, they'll come back to life and start blooming again, well before any spring plants that you think of planting in your landscape in like May or June. So I'm talking in our region, like early March, you'll start to see your pansies really starting to perk up and start blooming again. So they make a great choice for kind of the colder, kind of end of fall, beginning of spring season. And well, over the next few weeks, the pansies that we're transplanting will start to bloom, and the greenhouse will transform into a quilt of color. So stay tuned for future updates as we progress into fall pansy season.
So that is a quick look at this fall's pansy crop. And I'm not going to leave a comment, but something that I've done in the past, and this year I didn't get to do a spring color tour because of, stuff that was going on. But something that I would like to possibly do this fall is a fall color tour. And we've done it in the past when we have all of the pansies in full bloom out in the greenhouse. But this year I might try, depending on logistics and how everything's blooming, might try to do the fall tour, but maybe in a different location. I might try to do it maybe uptown where you can walk out and look at our mum growing field. And it would also give you a look at our newest greenhouse facility up there. So that might be something a little bit different. I've got to figure out some of the logistics and stuff of that and the feasibility of doing that. But that might be something to keep an eye out for in the next month or two. Well, we are having some connection issues. So I want to thank everybody for watching this week. Yeah, we're starting to see larger numbers. So we've got 10 people watching right now on Facebook. We've got 3 viewers over on Twitter, or X, excuse me, X. 2 people on Rumble. So that's awesome. And we've got a few people watching over on YouTube also. So that is great. If you're watching on any of those different platforms, give us a share. That really helps promote the show and helps get, more followers and more people in the conversation. My goal here is to show you, that you can garden year round. It's not just a spring thing. And it can be fun. I mean, this time of year we're heading into fall. We've got fall pansies, mums, ornamental cabbage and kale out in the garden. There's all types of vegetables you can be growing right now. And then once cold weather sets in and we move indoors, then we can have fun with house plants and hydroponics and growing veggies indoors and all that kind of stuff too. So huge variation of stuff we can do. Tomorrow, I'm jumping on a Zoom meeting and talking to a group of folks about our educational outreach and how we're trying to reach out to youngsters about careers in horticulture. And the future of our industry. And well, I am starting to ramble like always, so I'm going to call it for this week. And until next time, keep growing.